What's up, guys and girls? This is X Hydra, and I'm bringing you guys the Warrior update for Warlords of Draenor, World of Warcraft patch 6.0.2. The patch dropped yesterday, and things have been kind of buggy, but, that's to be expected. So, today we're going to focus purely on the Warrior, and more specifically, we're going to be focusing on the Fury Warrior. The things that have changed, the things that have come, the things that I believe are going to come. So, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into this. So first, we're just gonna look at the patch notes here. We're gonna focus purely on what has been removed for Fury Warrior, what has been changed, what's been done. So first, we're gonna see Berserker Stance and Cleave have been removed from the game. Colossus Smash is no longer available to Fury Warriors. It's only for arms. That kind of hurts, but it happens. No more Demoralizing Banner. Flurry. Flurry has been removed, and that's going to play a big role into what I'm going to get into later. Mocking Banner is only for Prot Warriors. So we can't use that with Intervene or anything like that. We no longer have Shield Wall. We no longer have Throw, as if we ever use that. We no longer have Thunderclap. And it doesn't say it here, but it says it somewhere else, but Heroic Strike has been removed. Battle Shout and Commanding Shout do not generate rage. So, that kind of sucks. Now, here's what I'm actually looking at. This is going to play further into what I'm going to talk about later. Alright, so Single-Minded Fury and Titan's Grip are both a part of Crazed Berserker now. Crazed Berserker increases all damage by 30%, up from 20%, while using one-handed weapons. That's pretty big. That is actually quite massive. Meat Cleaver's been merged into Whirlwind. That, whatever. Let's see. So that's pretty much it for the consolidation, what's been removed and everything. Here it'll tell you stances. Stances will change. You will automatically change stances if you use an ability that requires a different stance. So that's something important to note. If you no longer need the cast defensive stance, cast whatever macro, which I'm honestly gonna kind of miss, but whatever. Alright, so we're gonna scroll down here. Alright, first we're gonna look at this. Warriors have been given a new passive ability. It's called Headlong Rush. Blizzard is basically trying to convince us that warriors need haste. They say Headlong Rush, haste reduces global cooldown and the cooldowns Immortal Strike, Bloodthirst, Shield Slam, and Thunderclap. That's nice and all, but it is not going to outweigh crit and mastery for a Fury Warrior. Not by a long shot. So, scrolling down even further. Enraged Regeneration got buffed. Bladestorm and what was that? Stormbolt? Yeah, Stormbolt and Bladestorm, they got swapped. So instead of using instead of being able to do Shockwave Stormbolt, you can now do Bladestorm Stormbolt. Though of course you were always able to do Bladestorm Stormbolt, but it's kind of more feeling obligated for that now. Piercing Howl is now baseline for us. For Fury. And here it says Blood Surge has had its effect reduced. You only get 2 charges instead of 3. And it is now basically just a part of Bloodthirst now. Wild Strike's damage or rage costs 45. And Bloodthirst replaces Heroic Strike. So we no longer have Heroic Strike, flat out, period. It says it right there. Bloodthirst has a 30% additional crit chance instead of double your current chance. That's both a buff and a nerf. Like, it's kind of a buff if you're below 40%, but it's a nerf if you're above 40% crit. Actually, like 30%. Yeah, 30% is the midpoint there. So if you're below 30%, it's a buff. If you're above 30%, it's a nerf. Dr. Pepper, I love you so much. Alright, so continuing on. Bloodthirst has... Alright, Crazed Berserker no longer increases auto attack damage, but it instead causes Execute to hit with the offhand weapon. That is big and also going to play into what I'm about to start talking about. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch over to the game now. This one? Yeah. Alright. So here we are, we're in game. Now, this is not my warrior. This is Rose's warrior. I'm going to be leaving a link to Rose's channel in the description of this video. She's a really good warlock. She's wanted to get into warrior for some time. She told me I could use her warrior for this video because my account is currently out of time because I don't make shit for money. And she said I could use this warrior under the condition that I help her gear this little ankle biter up. So, everyone, this is Pink Lemonade. I'm going to be playing on her for a little while. And anyway, let's get right into this. So, first thing you're going to notice, Rose used to have this thing set up just like mine was. She figured, I'm a pretty good warrior, I must know what I'm doing, so she's going to set up like I'm set up so that she can act like she knows what she's doing too. So, we're going to go ahead and hide this, so we don't need to be looking at that shit. Alright, anyway. So, we're missing a lot of abilities. This whole thing used to be filled up. And first I'm going to point out, we have Shield Barrier. We still have a defensive ability. It is not that big a deal. Yeah, we lost Shield Wall. That kind of hurts. But you know, Shield Wall in comparison to Shield Barrier... Alright, Shield Barrier is absorb damage and then spend extra rage to absorb even more damage. So by default, you're looking at 1000 damage absorbed. Doesn't seem like much, right? So let's go ahead and get some rage built up. In fact, let's get maximum rage. Alright. So, that's 3.3k absorption. Actually, almost 3.4k absorption. That's actually kind of big in PvP right now. So, that's really a good one. And to be able to just spam it constantly... Their automatic switching thing seems to be broken. But... to be able to just constantly spam that as needed is a big, big, big buff. Alright? It's much greater survivability than Shield Wall could have ever offered us. And I am grateful for this change. Of course, that's just my opinion and my view on it. So, that aside, you're looking at... we have 2 rage spenders. Well, 3, really. If you include that defensive. We have also got Wild Strike, 45 rage, does a nice chunk of damage. And Whirlwind. It's supposed to be our main rage spender, costing only 30 rage, deals reasonable damage, pretty respectable damage. But those are supposed to be the two spenders that we have. And let's go ahead real quick. We're going to look at talents. Actually, first, I want to point this out. It's going to be really important in PvP. Shattering Throw. It's a glyph now. Shattering Throw is a glyph. And I'm going to be making another glyph, or another video only on glyphs later on. Somewhere down the lines, because a lot of glyphs have been added, and they've made some changes to glyphs, and if I go into that today, it's going to just make this video way too long. This is already going to be longer than I really want it to be. But whatever. So we're going to look at the talents here. This is where my theory crafting is going to come into play. I've already stated, for stats, I think it's going to stay the same. Crit, Mastery, Haste. You're going to wind up with some haste regardless, but crit, Mastery, Haste. That's the way it's going to be. It's the way it's always going to be for the Fury Warrior, until they change our Mastery so that it no longer increases our damage when we are enraged. Crit, Mastery, Haste. Now, this is my theory crafting, because we're looking at, these are the big changes right here. We're going to completely ignore the level 90 talents for right now, because we don't have, or not 90, level 100 talents, because we don't have these. So, looking at these three, and we're also going to look at these. Alright, Impending Victory. It looks pretty damn nice right now. You know, it's a 30-second cooldown, 15% of your max health rage, or max health heal. And killing an enemy resets it. So, it's like Victory Rush on fucking crack. Second Wind got nerfed and hard. Alright, you gain Leech instead of a heal. So, it's 10% of your damage done. Now, that may not sound bad, but if you look at this damage, you're not going to be getting a lot of healing coming in. Alright. Especially not where you need it most. I think Enraged Regeneration is going to come into play here. It's usable while stunned. It got majorly buffed. Instantly heals 10% and it heals another 20 over 5 seconds. This is going to be big. And I mean major. Now, let's go into what we're all here for. The 45 talents. Furious Strikes. Wild Strikes cost 25 less rage. That's going to put you at 20 rage for Wild Strikes, making it a very powerful rage dump. But, in my opinion, it's not going to outweigh the other two. And if you do take Furious Strikes, I would suggest it be probably for PvE and only for Titan's Grip. Now, Sudden Death. Sudden Death. Your auto attacks have a 20% chance to make your execute cost no initial rage and be usable on any target. Now, this is major. This is huge for us. But, in my opinion, because we lost Flurry, so we lost our increased attack speed. And we are not going to be putting points into haste. Sudden Death is only going to be good if you're either arms or if you're running Single-Minded Fury, because you get that more quick attack speed. So you're looking at, you're attacking faster with Single-Minded Fury, you're dealing more damage with Single-Minded Fury, and you're going to strike with your offhand weapon in Single-Minded Fury when you use Execute.
that's gonna make sudden death ramp up to some fucking vicious, nightmarish damage. But lastly, I find Unquenchable Thirst. I think this is going to be the go-to talent for Titan's Grip. Bloodthirst no longer has a cooldown. Now, as anyone that plays Fury, or anyone that knows Fury will tell you, the number one issue with Fury is it is RNG based. If you don't get that crit, you're SOL. And the issue with it was you had 6-second cooldown to get that crit. You could stack haste to try to lower the cooldown on it, or you can take this and just spam away, increasing your incoming heal from Bloodthirst, increasing rage generation, increasing uptime on Enrage, and increases uptime on Blood Surge. So you can see that is just nasty right there. And I think for Titan's Grip, that's going to be the go-to. But that's just me, alright? Don't take my word for it. It's just my theory on the matter. Now, we're going to go ahead real quick and we're going to look at this. A couple other things. We're going to go ahead and we're going to run a quick my speculation on what would be best for arenas and what would be best for rated for battlegrounds. Alright, so my opinion, you're going to be running double time. Always running double time, whether arena or battleground. You may consider running into Warbringer, but Charge already has a root, so you don't really need it. The stun, it's nice, but you don't need it. You've got Juggernaut, and I really wouldn't even look into Juggernaut. So now we're gonna go into this. I honestly think Enraged Regeneration, hands down, gonna be it. Rated battlegrounds, regular battlegrounds, arenas, probably even PvE. Enraged Regen. It's a powerful cooldown with a powerful heal and an amazing uptime. Now, if you're running Single-Minded Fury, like I said, sudden death. That's my opinion, regardless of what you're running. Titan's Grip, my opinion, this for PvP, this for PvE. You know, Thirst for PvP, Strikes for PvE. It's going to be really nice. For Titan's Grip, you're going to want to run either Stormbolt or Shockwave. These two are most synergizing with Titan's Grip. But with the change to Dragon's Roar, Dragon Roar no longer has reduced damage from hitting multiple targets. Dragon Roar also synergizes better with Single-Minded Fury, so in my opinion, that's going to be the way to go for Single-Minded Fury. For Titan's Grip, you're going to run either Shockwave or Stormbolt. For Single-Minded Fury, either Dragon Roar or Shockwave. For the 75 talent, no matter what you're running, if you're doing Battlegrounds, Mass Spell Reflect. If you're doing Arenas, Vigilance. Because being able to save your arena partner, making them take 30% less damage, is just key. And lastly, we're going to look at the level 90 talents. Bloodbath I would stay away from, honestly. It serves very little purpose. And it may get better later on when we have multi-strike. But for right now, it is pretty damn useless. with that being said, you're going to probably want to run either Avatar or Bladestorm. And I would honestly suggest picking what's more comfortable with you for this one. I would say probably Bladestorm. It would be a really powerful thing synergizing with Shockwave or Stormbolt. Either one of these will be really powerful when combined with Bladestorm. Avatar is really nice, but I'm really not sure how I feel about it in the PvP environment as of this patch. So guys, that's just my theory crafting on this, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I would love to see some comments about what you guys think. So, feel free, drop a comment, let me know, let me hear your theories on the matter. But this is my speculation on what it's going to be for Fury as of this point. We'll find out later on down the road, but in my opinion, I think Fury is about to come back with a vengeance. This has been X Hydra, guys. Love you all, and I'll see you on the next one.